I spent years searching for the Holy Grail in trading. Systems, indicators, win rates. And I lost, again and again. Not because I wasn't good enough, not because I lacked discipline, but because I was chasing something that isn't where everyone is looking. This video isn't about winning more trades. It's about the moment you stop running and begin to see the market for what it really is. If you've ever believed that the next system would save you, stay. The Holy Grail. The thing everyone searches for, yet almost no one ever truly touches. There is one promise that has drawn millions of people into the market. A promise never stated outright, but constantly whispered through ads, courses, and glowing red headlines. That if you can just find it, you will never lose again. It goes by many names: the unbeatable system, the self-trading robot, the 90% win rate formula, the secret method. But deep down, they all point to the same idea: the Holy Grail. I used to believe in it, blindly, with passion, so obsessed that I lost sleep night after night, tweaking one more parameter, optimizing one more indicator. I believed that if I could just find the right formula, everything would change. And so my journey began, testing every model I could find, buying courses that promised success in 30 days, forming groups, sharing trade ideas, building automated bots. I thought I was making progress. But one day I stopped and looked honestly at myself. I realized I was running. The more I ran, the more exhausted I became. The more exhausted I became, the tighter I clung on. The tighter I clung on, the more I lost. I saw myself like a mountain climber who didn't even know where the peak was. And strangely, the higher I climbed, the colder the air became, the lonelier it felt. I began to hear cracks forming, not in the market, but inside myself. You know something? Trading is a very different kind of game. It doesn't kill you with one heavy blow. It drains you slowly, one trade at a time, while you still believe you're getting closer to the Holy Grail. But the Holy Grail is not there. Not in indicators, not in green trades, not in a $1,000 account today that gets wiped out tomorrow. This video is not a secret that guarantees you'll never lose. I don't have that, and you shouldn't believe anyone who claims they do. But if you've spent years running, lost sleep over yet another new system, and quietly collapsed after moments when you thought you had finally reached the top, then maybe this video is the pause you need in that journey. I am Quiet Trading, and this is the true story of my search for the Holy Grail. And what I found in the end was something even more valuable than the Holy Grail. There was a period when I truly believed I was about to touch it. At that time, I spared no money and no time. I flew to Singapore, attended a 3-day trading course where they spoke about the hidden mechanics of money flow, what they called smart money. They told me this was how big banks operated, that retail traders would never have access to this knowledge. I sat for hours, taking notes, asking questions, memorizing formulas. I came home and applied it immediately. And I lost. Not because I did it wrong, but because the market doesn't care who you learned from. The market cares about only one thing: whether you have the patience to see what most people are too early or too noisy to notice. After that, I continued the journey, this time to the UK, an even more expensive course. They handed me a complete trading system, backed by 5 years of backtesting, with a 90% win rate advertised above 80%. They called it advanced price action, and I treated it as the last belief I had left to hold on to. But after a few weeks of small wins, the market changed its face. That system no longer fit, and once again, I found myself back at the starting point, with one difference: a thinner account, and a thinner sense of self-respect. In Vietnam, there was a time when a name spread quickly among young traders. Blockchain Dream. Very popular. Confident speaker. A large community. Everyone believed this person must have found the Holy Grail. Friends once invited me to join his private group. There were fees, exclusive strategies, monthly profit reports, daily displays of success. But then, one by one, people began to wake up. No one spoke loudly, they only whispered to each other. That system worked, but only for a certain phase. Then the market changed its rhythm, and everything collapsed. No one was wrong, no one was deceiving anyone. But in that moment, I finally understood something. The Holy Grail does not exist in any course, because if it truly did, this market would have died a long time ago. Trading is not a journey to find a formula. It is a long conversation between you and your own fear. And if you are still running right now, I don't blame you, because I was once exactly the same. I only hope that when the exhaustion finally settles in, you'll remember that there was once someone who stopped, turned back, and told you of a journey that never reached its destination, yet found something far more valuable than the destination itself. I remember that feeling very clearly.
The feeling when your heart beats faster as someone shows off a system that wins 8, 9, 10 trades in a row. The feeling of seeing a glowing green account with just a few short captions beneath it. No one ever teaches you how to face those feelings. And so I believed again. Maybe this was it. Maybe this was the Holy Grail after all. I once thought that if I had a system stable enough, winning consistently every week, life would become much lighter. I imagined myself living somewhere quiet, opening my laptop for a few hours each day, placing a few trades, closing it, and enjoying freedom. I believed that having the right formula was all I needed. So I tried everything: price action, supply and demand, ICT, Elliott, Fibonacci. I learned as if I were collecting fragments of a treasure map. Every time I lost, I didn't stop. I changed methods. I told myself I must still be missing one last piece. And then I ran again, like someone obsessed, chasing something with no shape, no sound, nothing that truly existed. But I never stopped to ask myself, why did I need the Holy Grail so badly? Was I using it as armor to hide the fear that I wasn't good enough? Was I chasing wins not really for the money, but for something to prove that I wasn't inferior to anyone else? I didn't realize that the very desire to find the Holy Grail was what pulled me away from the market. I was no longer trading what was happening. I was trading a dream I had built for myself. And whenever the market moved against me, I refused to accept that it was right. I only blamed myself for not following the rules precisely enough, for lacking discipline, for not fully understanding the system. The truth was much simpler. The market does not run on formulas. It runs on the emotions of millions of people like me, like you. People who always hope that next time will be different. But the market doesn't care about that hope. It simply watches in silence and then punishes those who still believe in perfection. The first person I think of is Liam, a finance background, graduated from a top school, strong in coding, statistics, presentation. Liam had a system that was almost perfect, win rate above 80%, fixed risk, 5 years of backtesting, over 1,000 trades. The day I met Liam, he said something I never forgot. Brother, in the end, the market is just probability. 3 months later, I met him again. More than 80% of his account was gone. Not because the system was wrong, not because he lacked discipline,
but because in a single night the market moved too violently and Liam couldn't stay calm enough to do what he once believed was the Holy Grail. Then there was John, the man who once stood on stage talking about candlestick patterns, leading hundreds of students. Everyone believed he had unlocked some secret from Japan. But one very late night, he said to me, "Candles only reflect part of the story." The thing I never expected was how violently my own psychology would react. Once, after 5 losing trades in a row, John couldn't lift his hand to place the next trade, not because he was afraid of losing money, but because he was afraid that he no longer had anything left to believe in. I still remember Max, the one who once told me, "Just one strategy, I'll follow it to the end." And Max almost did exactly that. When the system began to have its logic broken by chaotic, news-driven markets, Max didn't stop to adjust. He believed that if it was truly the Holy Grail, it must never be questioned. And then the account nearly disappeared. Not because the system was bad, but because of blind faith in invincibility. I have met many people like him. Some knew far more than I ever did. Some were far more disciplined and persistent than me. Yet they still fell. And only then did I understand. The Holy Grail doesn't kill them directly. The belief that it exists is what takes away their last bit of flexibility. A good system can deliver 7, 8, even 10 winning trades, but all it takes is one losing trade at the wrong time with the mind slightly off to break principles once thought unbreakable. I began to ask myself, if even people better than me end up disillusioned, maybe it was time for me to stop and look in another direction. That thing wasn't on the chart, it wasn't in books, it wasn't in systems. It was somewhere no one had ever taught me how to reach: myself. I once believed that with enough determination, anyone could succeed in trading. I believed that if you studied long enough, trained deeply enough, kept enough discipline, the market would eventually reward you. But then I watched people better than me walk away one by one. There was one, once considered a master of price action, a YouTube channel with tens of thousands of views, sharp, structured thinking. I looked up to him. I once reviewed every trade through his lens. When we met again, I asked, "Do you still trade?" He smiled, calmly. "I don't trade anymore. Now I make money from YouTube and I sell fish noodle soup." He didn't fail. He didn't give up. He chose peace. He said something to me that I will never forget. Trading isn't wrong, but it's not for everyone. Some people belong with candlesticks. Some belong by the fire in a kitchen. That line left me silent because I began to remember so many others. People who once shouted about financial freedom through Forex, now running coffee shops. People who once claimed they had found an unbeatable model, now working in real estate, or simply just gone. No one was wrong. No one deceived anyone. They just realized, in time, that trading isn't meant for the crowd. Because the market doesn't hand out opportunity fairly. It doesn't reward hard work. It doesn't praise you for studying more. It responds to only one thing. Do you truly understand yourself before you try to understand the market? And I began to doubt myself. Was I also clinging to a path that wasn't meant for me? Sleepless nights, days of consecutive red accounts, moments of hesitation, followed by entering trades anyway just out of fear of missing out. I looked around and realized I was standing in a crowd full of passion but lost. Until I met him, a man who was no longer searching for anything, no shouting, no need for beautiful charts, yet he knew exactly when the market began to turn on itself. He didn't teach me any new tools. He taught me to peel away, layer by layer, my illusions.
I once met someone. He didn't make me better at trading, but he made me still. I didn't meet him in a class, not through coaching, not in any loud group. I met him in a small roadside drink shop, a place where no one talked about trading. No Wi-Fi, no charts, just an elderly man, sitting for a long time and silent, very deeply. I don't know when he started trading, no one does, but once I tried to ask, "Did you follow the market yesterday?" He just smiled, didn't look at me, didn't answer directly. He only said one thing: "The more closely you feel the need to watch it, the more it means you haven't gone far enough." That sentence pushed me into a long silence that lasted for days, because it sounded like nothing I had ever heard before. Not discipline, not risk management, not don't hold losing trades, but distance. Yet distance from what? Slowly, I understood. He didn't teach me how to trade. He didn't ask me to take notes, didn't require backtesting, didn't tell me to fix my system. Every day, he asked only one question. "Today, are you looking at the market, or is the market looking at you?" That question cut straight through every chart, stripped naked every winning trade, and collapsed every system I once believed was invincible. I began to step back. I no longer glued my eyes to the charts. I just sat and watched the market like watching a river flow. One day, he said, "Don't try to beat the market. You only need to recognize when it's speaking the truth and when it's lying." I stayed silent because for the first time in my trading life, I didn't need to add anything. I only needed to remove. Fewer tools, fewer indicators, fewer expectations, and most importantly, less belief that I had to win in order to prove I was someone. From that day on, I traded very little, but every trade was clear. No hesitation, no fear. Not because I became better, but because I could sense when the market slipped out of its own rhythm, when it stopped being itself. That was when I entered, not to conquer, but to touch lightly and step away before the real wave began to rise. That teacher never gave me the Holy Grail. He gave me a way to exist in the market without fighting, and that changed everything. I used to be heavily addicted to cigarettes. I promised to quit countless times, every time saying this would be the last. But after every losing trade, every violent market move, every moment I lost control, I returned to a cigarette as a way to escape. When I met that teacher, I thought he would teach me about the market. I prepared a notebook, prepared my computer, prepared a long list of questions about techniques, psychology, strategy. But he looked at me calmly and asked, "How long have you been smoking?" I smiled, a little embarrassed. "For a long time, but I'm trying to quit." He nodded, then said very gently, "Then it's not time to learn trading yet." I froze. I thought he was joking or being too harsh. But he continued, "If you can't even overcome a craving, how will you overcome yourself when the market reverses?" If you can't control your body, how will you control your emotions when your account stays red day after day? At that moment, I said nothing. But inside me, something shook deeply. Because he wasn't talking about cigarettes. He was talking about me. About the part of me that always looks for escape, always needs something to lean on whenever it faces failure. For 3 weeks, he taught me nothing. He didn't mention charts, didn't test my knowledge. He only watched quietly and waited for me to step through the thin shell I once called willpower. Then one day, when I finally quit, when I could look at a cigarette and no longer feel I needed it, he simply said, "Now you can truly see the market." Because the market is not for the weak, but it is also not for those who tense themselves up to appear strong. It is only for those light enough not to be blown away, deep enough not to be swept along, and steady enough not to deceive themselves. I once thought he would teach me the Holy Grail, but he taught me only one thing. If you cannot master a craving,
You cannot master a wave. And from there, I began to understand. The Holy Grail is not a system. It is not a set of rules. It is not something you download, memorize, or backtest long enough to obtain. The Holy Grail is a state of being where the market no longer decides whether today you feel happy or miserable, whether you win or lose, whether you feel confident or fall apart. How many times have you heard this question? Is there a Holy Grail in trading? And I know you are just like I was years ago. You may have spent entire years, maybe many years, searching for an answer to that question. But one day, you stop asking. Not because you found the answer, but because you no longer need the question. Because by then you understand, the Holy Grail is not in patterns, not in win rate, not in risk management. The Holy Grail is how you face the market without needing the market to treat you kindly. It is when your hands no longer shake because of sudden news, when you no longer sleep over a losing trade, when you are no longer afraid of missing a perfect setup. It is when you sit down, open the chart, and stop searching. You only listen, listening to the market's breathing, listening to your own reactions. It is when you win without arrogance, lose without collapse. When you don't need anyone to know you are in a trade, don't need anyone to believe that you are right. When you can survive in silence, yet still have enough inner strength to see what most people will never see. My teacher didn't pass down a secret technique. He didn't give me more tools, didn't teach me more indicators, didn't make me journal or backtest. He only helped me return to a place I had abandoned for a very long time, myself. The place where cravings live, where self-deception hides, where the noise in the mind erupts every time price moves violently. And he taught me only one thing. You just need to stay silent long enough for the market to reveal its weakest point on its own. And I, someone who once ran everywhere searching for the Holy Grail, finally found it in letting go. Letting go of the need to win. Letting go of the urge to prove something. Letting go of the image of a successful trader I carried every day. Now I trade very little, but I live much more. Not because I am rich, but because I no longer allow the market to control my life. And if you've listened this far, I believe you are beginning to feel it too. Something inside you is breaking, so that something else can be born. I'm not just telling you a story about trading. I'm telling you about a journey to find something everyone believes is out there. But in truth, it lives in how you live, in how you breathe when the market is burning red, and in how you remain silent yet still exist. The Holy Grail does not exist, but if it did, it would not belong to those who are still searching.